Okay, so I have a very random piece of information to share with you, but I know you're going to appreciate it because there's so many connections with it. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay, Pen 15.
Love it.
Starting off on a good foot. So the actress that plays Maya.
Yeah.
Remember in the second season how there was the one, like, I don't even know if he was a teacher, but the guy who like wrote the play that she was in?
Oh, yeah.
And that guy was the younger version of William from Almost Famous. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right.
Okay, so Maya, the actress plays her, and him, they're, I think, married now, and they're having a baby.
What?
Yep.
What in the world made you think of this?
Because my friend Christine, shout out Christine, she's a big fan of the podcast.
Hey, Christine.
I basically peer pressured her into watching Pen 15, and she finally did it, and then she kept texting me, and she told me that fun fact.
Yeah, that guy's in a lot of films.
Yeah, he was.
Man, I thought you were going to relate it back to the holiday.
Nope.
But that's...
Nothing at all.
All right.
Sorry.
Got it.
We'll do that during the episode. Maybe.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop. Sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome back, listeners.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thank you to Bridget for filling in when I take a sip of wine. Thank you.
I always wonder what they're doing. What are you doing right now? You vacuuming? You're going for a walk? Are you just in a car ride and you're like, man, I wish this drive was shorter? What do you think they're doing?
Probably not car rides, but maybe. I think you first asked that in one of the like Halloween episodes, and I don't think we've still gotten any
no
answers
one has
yet.
answered me. So
Not yet.
We have plenty of forms of communication to reach out, people.
Yeah, listeners, don't forget about our brand new website, sisterswho'seenit.com. And you can chat us or whatevs. There's like so many different things in there. I don't even know. So now you know our website. Now you're gonna know us. Here we go. We are the Sisters Who've Seen It. Seamless transition there. Yep. We're the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And we're all about to go on the best holiday ever. And if you think the best holiday ever is Love Actually, then get out. Because you're wrong.
I'm Jack Black playing the piano right now.
Oh, I love it.
Listen, the holiday. Why isn't it talked about more?
I don't know. It's so awesome.
The best.
And that's our movie, everyone. If you have trouble with context clues, watch The Holiday. What year was this? Do you remember?
2006.
2006. So it was a little bit after Love Actually. I don't know. This one is so awesome.
First of all, you really had me go down the rabbit hole with Nancy Meyers, who wrote this movie, produced and directed this movie, and her whole life is she's an incredible life story where her and her husband were together for like 20 years making super famous movies like The Parent Trap, which is why Lindsay Lohan makes a random appearance. Father of the Bride, 1 and 2. And then a couple other that like I didn't recognize, but I think are super famous. Like I think one of them's like Private Benjamin or something. But
Goldie Hawn.
She gets divorced from this husband and then starts to create all these movies, like all these rom-coms about like older women and like not the stereotypical rom-com. Like, It's Complicated with Meryl Streep.
Oh my God.
Something's Gotta Give with Diane Keaton.
Yes.
What Women Want with, who was it, Mel Gibson. And The Holiday. And like, she just was like, I'm, divorced and my life just started to kick butt. And then I just wrote all these movies for like women kicking butt. And now I'm obsessed with Nancy Meyers. So thanks for that.
That's so cool. I never knew that. I'm not surprised to hear that it was directed and written by a woman. And again, listeners, remember what we learned from Love Actually. If you're an old, crotchety white man, don't write a rom-com. Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
And let me continue with my love affair. She wrote this article, in February of 2020, so not too long ago.
Oh, wow.
And the title, which I will share it with you, or I'll share the link too, Life Isn't Like the Movies, Even If You Write Movies. Aww. And it's just so beautiful about how she like reconnected with her ex-husband, and they like, it doesn't end like they're perfect and have a love story, but it just is more real on how like real love is. So I just sent it to you. You could get a quick read, but she just seems normal.
Yes, we love normal.
I'm sure she's quirky and has whatever, like all the other Hollywood people, but it's just so cool. And then, of course, I had to follow her husband to see like, well, what the heck he did. And let me tell you, the only movie I saw that I could actually recognize was Alfie.
Boo!
Boo! So, anywho, should we do a synopsis?
I mean, I like synopsises, so
let's do it.
I think we should do it. I want to hear your synopsis, though.
Ooh! I wish I was this skilled, but I want to do the synopsis like Amanda Wood's movie edits every time.
Amanda Woods! I love it. So funny.
You have two women, Cameron Diaz, Amanda Woods, Kate Winslet, Iris something. So we'll call them Amanda and Iris. And I read this somewhere, so I'm not going to take full credit from it, but they inadvertently create Airbnb. And
it's kind of true.
There's so many articles that say that, but they are not having the best of luck in love. And guess what? It's the holidays. Blah, blah.
It's the holiday. Careful now.
Okay. So they say, I want to get out of here. I need a break. I want to just get away. I want to get away and forget about this ex that I'm dealing with or this heartbreak, whatever. And they do a home exchange, which apparently is a real site that still exists.
Oh, that's cool. Can I exchange with someone who lives in a mansion in LA? Because I'm ready.
They would be not happy to end up with mom, dad, Mary, the dogs. Yeah, I don't think that would work.
Hey guys, here's my room. That's it. There's no other areas you can use. So
you show up with an empty house and like forget to tell them it's filled with mom and dad. So they say, I want to get out of here. They do a home exchange. This is how they meet. And then basically, because they kind of flee their lives, the people that they actually start to meet once they exchange homes are part of the other person's world. And so it's all about, Iris coming from England, and she's in this huge LA house.
So cool.
Around all these fancy Hollywood people, and so she like is loving it, and Cameron Diaz then is the opposite. She's in this super small town outside of London in the middle of nowhere in like this little like cottage that it looks like out of a fairy tale. It's so like little and charming.
It had a name. Like the house had a name.
Oh.
I don't remember what the name was. I just remember it had a name. Like it was like on the gate. It was like the blah blah cottage.
Wow.
So my house doesn't have a name.
You can name it if you want.
Maybe the next one.
Yeah. So, in part of them meeting the other people's lives, well, it's a rom-com, folks, so guess what? There's going to be some love, and that's what happens as they start to meet other people. They start to slowly fall in love, but we need to talk to you about these people, because one of them is Jude Law. Now, let's face it. I honestly, Mose was like, who's in it? And I'm like, Ethan Hawke, no. Ewan McGregor, no. I was like, insert
I wish it was you,
hot
McGregor.
white dude at some point that like was famous, and the very unexpected Jack Black.
He's
who
great.
delivers as a rom-com, because you're like, really? And then it just goes through them all figuring it out and all coming to terms with what they actually deserve, and they work through their issues, and it's just done beautifully. And it's not just about the love affair. There's all these other stories about other pieces of your life, because love is not the only thing. And again, this needs to be the new Christmas movie.
Yeah.
This is
Agreed.
it. This is the Christmas movie to watch, and that's it. End of story.
Do you remember that show on probably Comedy Central that was called like Celebrity Deathmatch, maybe?
Oh my god, with like the puppets, the clay like puppets. How did you think of that?
Because I want an episode of that with the movie The Holiday beating up the movie Love Actually. Because I would bet money on that fake claymation boxing match.
It's like round one, powerful women, and then Love Actually comes out, and all the women just like fall over. They're all the cardboard cutouts. Kate Winslet, Cameron Diaz like kick him in the face.
Oh God!
But what did I forget? I mean, I know there's so much stuff in between.
I mean, no, I thought your synopsis was A+.
Oh, wow.
I do. I mean, there's obviously like a little more stuff that kind of happens, more specific, but I feel like we're just gonna end up talking about that anyway. So,
yeah.
Well, and of course, you know, it's funny, I'm really gonna try to not bring up Love Actually a lot, but the very beginning of the movie...
But you keep doing it. No, okay.
I know, psychology. Yeah, but how funny was that? Like, the very beginning was so eerie similar, where you have...
Yeah.
Just, I did not remember that first scene. I'm like, who are these two people? Should I know them? Nope, you don't need to know them. They're just actors in a fake movie making out, but then there's the talking over it, and it's Iris, and she's just talking about love, and sometimes love is sad, and blah, blah, blah. Didn't write it down, but all I remember was I was like, this isn't annoying me as much as the you-know-who. That's what I'll call it from now on. It's like, it's got Voldemort rules now. So... They did a good job of, like, introducing all the characters, though, because you saw everybody and you kind of saw, like, what they were doing, and nobody was talking either. It wasn't like you were seeing full scenes of dialogue. You saw Jack Black playing his little piano. You saw Iris was, like... I don't know, she's probably like being sad or something.
No, she talks about, and then the worst love at all is unrequited love.
Oh, and then is that where she comes on screen then?
Yeah, and she goes, those who fall in love alone. I was like, But that's what makes it so good, because it just doesn't start out with like, I don't know, dumb.
Not trying to BS you. It's like, hey, we're gonna tell you it sucks sometimes. And we're going to show it the right way, not the dumb way.
Well, and Kate, as you know, in the field you're in, when you really want to look for a great love, you have to find it within yourself first.
Wow. Yeah. It's true. It's true, everyone. Believe in yourself. Your first love should be you. Yeah, so when we see Iris, though, and it's the whole introduction to Jasper.
Oh, yeah.
He sucks.
Oh, man. And guess what? So Rufus Swell, if I'm pronouncing that right, they actually dated.
Wait, is that the guy's name? Just so I understand what's going on. Okay.
Yeah.
Ew, Kate, no.
Do you ever hear of the show Man in the High Castle?
Yeah, I've heard that.
He's like the evil guy in it.
Well... There you go.
He's really good in it, though.
Don't you think it would be a little bad juju if you're an actress and then you start dating the guy who's the actor opposite of you that's supposed to be your ex, or the guy like screwing you over? I feel like that's a little...
they were already exes. They dated before this whole film.
Oh, well, never mind then. And
So
they probably
he
have
was
great
cast.
Chemistry.
Yeah, so he was cast, and I'm sure they both were like awkward turtle.
I mean, it worked though. So.
It did work. It worked really well.
Wow. Yeah, he's a jerk.
Yeah, he was a jerk.
He was like skeezy too. He kept talking about like, oh, when we were like, you know, I was like, what? Are you a 13-year-old boy, sir? I'm confused.
But don't you feel like everyone has fallen for that type of person?
Yeah.
Just kind of like a jerk that is only worried about their lives, narcissistic, you know, doesn't respect your boundaries, and oof, he was good at it.
Yeah, I hated him.
While still being charming.
debatable, but to her, he was.
Yeah, to her.
I believe that, but...
And, okay, I feel like Kate Winslet's arc was, to me, a little bit more relatable because she, you know, was like, unrequited love. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Like, this guy is going to be engaged to someone else. And here I was thinking he loved me and yada, yada, yada. And then when she befriends her neighbor, who is a, 90-year-old famous filmmaker.
Oh, so cute.
And she starts developing this relationship where he keeps giving her, like, movies that have strong, powerful women. And he calls her out and says, you act like you're the supporting role, but you're, like, the leading lady in your life. And I was like,
such a good line.
And then you see her actually then do it, And so I felt like I liked her side of the story. Cameron Diaz's side was way more funny.
It was funny because, like, it wasn't as relatable.
Yeah, like, you were just like... I mean, Kate, I still believe one day, if you truly want to be a famous movie trailer editor...
I do.
And own your own company, I mean, just let's do it. Let's start the LLC now. We already have sisters who've seen it. We're going to start to, we're going to get
sisters who've seen it before the movie came out.
Yeah.
Because it's a movie trailer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
And we'll have, like, a cool little thing at the end. Okay, we'll work on it. We'll edit it in.
It's working in my mind right now. Oh my god.
Anywho, but she, because she's this, like, big, powerful force, and she's like, I don't even care about love, and I don't even know if I'm good at it, and who cares, and all this stuff is stupid. Like, she's such an intense personality.
Yeah.
I think all of us have a piece of her personality, but not 100% of the time. So, I think that's what made her funny.
Yeah.
Like, her whole story of her not being able to cry, trying to, was so good.
I didn't remember that part, and then once it started, I was like, oh my gosh, of course! How could I forget? That thing that people struggle with, basic human emotion. You've never stubbed your toe and shed a little tear, Miss Amanda Woods?
I don't think...
Amanda Woods has never stubbed her toe.
Did it? Oh!
It's so good. Yeah. I mean, listen though, this movie just hits me in the feelies. And then when she cries in the car, I'm like, oh my god, you did it. And then the trailer guy goes, Amanda's back. And I was like, oh, so good.
I cried 3 times in this.
Oh, I think I did too, actually.
I'm trying to find, because I literally list out when I cry.
Oh my god.
Wow, I wrote a lot of notes. I was like...
Me too, I have 4 pages.
Really into this.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I just missed them all. My 3rd cry of the movie. Oh my god, how many cries did I have? When the guy... Oh my god, when he gives her a corsage to go to the event.
No, and then he's like, is that too cheesy? You don't have to wear it. She's like, it's perfect. And I was like, it's perfect. You guys are great. God.
And then when they talk about the 3 Musketeers, because she gave him the idea, that was my...
And he grabs her hand, and they don't say anything. Oh my god. I cried too when they went to the actual awards or the recognition ceremony, and like it looks like it's deserted, and he was like, I don't want to go, no one's gonna be there, and I'm old, it's embarrassing. And then they did their whole little Rocky training montage to get him set up so he could walk without a walker.
I mean, he was punching cold meats in the freezer, right?
Sure was.
Oh, that's
getting ready for his match against Carl Weathers. But like they walk in and it's like filled to the brim, and he's so like surprised but happy.
I love it. It's so good. Okay, so the end of the movie, like, I would say 80% of the movie is the in-between love, is the meeting of the love, and is like all the dynamics and the other storylines around it. And then the last 20% is they're like just pumping you with love.
Yes.
And I just kept repeating over and over is, I get this is cheesy, but I'm here for it. And I know that this is over the top, but I love it. And I know they're dancing all together, and they flew to England, and I don't care. care. I am loving it. So it won me over.
Yeah, but it's cheesy, kind of, but I feel like you accept this type of setup for cheesy because they didn't do stuff like that the whole movie. They spent the whole movie having these people, like, actually get to know one another and then go through their own, you know, self-discoveries, and then it gets happy cheesy. Like, that's the way to do it. You can't just assume I'm just gonna be cool with you, you know, having people fall in love and they don't know what anyone's last name is, so.
Well, okay, but Jude Law pulls out the I love you after 2 weeks.
Yeah, but they, like, spent every day together.
Compared to, as we shouldn't bring it up, but we must.
He who must not be named. I'm labeling it a he because that's a man movie.
Love Actually. This movie doesn't take itself seriously either.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think Cameron Diaz gets enough credit for how funny she is in this.
She's so funny.
Yeah, and I think sometimes when it's kind of sucks, but in that 1990s to 2010, all the really like beautiful starring ladies, think about it, like couldn't be funny unless it was like a comedy.
Right.
Cameron Diaz is funny.
She's funny. Did you ever see the movie Bad Teacher with her?
Yes. She's good.
It's a raunchy movie. I don't think it was well received, but I think it's really funny. And she's so good in that. It's such a different character that she's used to playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I will say, okay, I did write a lot that her character reminded me a little of Mom because...
Just keeps talking.
Well, she is very like, work, 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 go, 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 and doesn't relax. And then like the day she's like, oh, I need to relax. And then she gets to relax and she doesn't know what to do. So she tries to pack up her suitcase and leave.
She does like 8 different things that would be relaxing if you actually like stopped to enjoy them, but she doesn't. She just like keeps going through like very quickly.
She even like plays the CD and then like aggressively dances. And I was like, whoa. But then she did something else.
She goes to the store. She buys like the cheese and the crackers. She gets the pretty nice selection of snacks, if I do say so myself. Drinking wine in the store, A+.
A+.
I don't know if that's allowed in England, but that's cool. And then this clerk lady, she's like, well, someone's having a party. And she just starts laughing. And she's like, oh, yeah. She's like by herself. I was like, yes, Cameron, yes. I can relate. I love it.
I love it. Oh, my God. Can we talk about all the random people in this film that no one knows about?
Are you talking about the random famous people?
Yeah.
Yes, because there were a lot that I never remembered before.
Okay, we talked about Jasper, but we didn't talk about Cameron Diaz's first boyfriend that she breaks up with, Ed Burns.
I don't know him.
Ooh, Kate.
Is that good? Ooh, or we hate
dreamy. I think he's hot. I think Ed Burns is hot.
Okay. Maybe his character turned me off too much. I don't know if I see it anymore.
He's in a lot of movies, and I just find him to be, like, super hot. Then Lindsay Lohan and James Franco in the fake movie trailer.
That's being edited by John Krasinski and Katherine Hahn.
Yes!
Amazing.
What? And then, out of nowhere, they're in a, wait for it, blockbuster.
I know!
And who do they see?
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman, which I read, he was not supposed to be in the film. He was literally, like, walking around wherever they were shooting. And he was like, what's happening? They were like, yo, Dustin! And they, like, high-fived, and he just was like, I'll be in the movie. And then that's all he did. He just stood there.
Okay.
What?
He, like, rolled his eyes. That was his actor's credit.
Oh, my God. Yeah. What? And then who was Jack Black's kind of jerky girlfriend? She was a famous person.
I don't think she's famous. I did not recognize her from anything.
What? No! She was totally in, like, a bunch of, like, teen movies.
I don't think so. Or maybe just ones I haven't seen.
Oh, forget it. Keep talking. I can't find her.
Yeah, again, another thing I just didn't remember, and those are just little fun surprises.
Okay, wait, I got a question for you. Whose life do you want? And it includes this movie. So, do you want the Cameron Diaz life? Which means her quirks and all, and also, obviously, her...
So you're saying if whatever life I pick, I assimilate to be that exact character as well?
Yes. 'Cause isn't that kind of tricky if you think about it?
I guess I would be Iris.
Yeah?
I mean, yeah, I don't want to be...
Even you wanting to be your movie editing?
Yeah, but I don't want to be Amanda. I don't want that personality.
Yeah, she's kind of intense, huh?
So not me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amanda needs some, like, therapy. She'll be okay.
Clearly. She never cried.
Yeah, I know. Well, even just the nonstop, I don't even know. Like, when she meets Jude, and he comes in, and they start, like, flirting at one point, and then they kind of are, like, you could tell they're gonna, like, you know, get frisky together. She then, like, interrupts him kissing her to be like, you know, I just want to let you know, my last boyfriend said I was, like, bad in bed. I was like, Cameron! Like, keep your cards covered. Come on, girl. What is your problem? But to me, like, I take that as, like, oh, that's, like, your anxiety. You're trying to, like, you know, set him up to, like, feign off any potential disappointment instead of just being confident, you know? You just go with the flow.
Yep. You made me think of when she went out to dinner with him and she was firing questions. That
so
reminded me
funny.
of Mom. Is, like, the interviewing. Like, her energy level is so high.
Yeah, I feel like I've been on dates like that.
Where, someone's interviewing you?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, you don't, like...
Do you tell them, stop interviewing me? Or do you ask them if you got the job?
No, I should do that next time. No, I don't even know. But I just feel like I've experienced that before.
Yeah, that's annoying. Wait, can we talk about how Kate Winslet just, like, leaves her dog for some stranger to take care of?
Yeah, I did have some issues. You know, I don't know if there's, like, background checks or, like, whatever going on. Jude clearly didn't care about the dog or taking care of it. I mean, he's got 2 children who seem kind of responsible. I feel like they could have helped, but glad it worked out. Yeah.
And then the only other thing that I thought was weird is when Cameron Diaz gets to the area and the guy's like, ma'am, I can't drive up there. All the snow. I was like, okay, whatever. But then when she leaves, he pulls up to the house.
And, like, Jude drove up to the house, too, a couple times.
What?
So, like, I don't like that. That was just to get her to, like, look like she was out of place and have it be, like, silly. She's wearing heels in the snow.
Do you know what I think is also something kind of beautiful about this movie that we don't get to see is the vulnerability of the men in this movie. Mm-hmm. Jude Law cried a lot.
And he said it. He's like, I cry all the time. She's like, no, you don't. He's like, oh, no, actually, like, almost every day. And, like, when I'm in the shower and, like, when I read a book and when I do this. And she was like, oh, my, that's a lot of crying.
And then watching Jack Black get his heart stomped on.
I know. It was so sad.
By Maggie, who's famous, that Katie doesn't know about.
Bridget! She's not to the level of, like, all the other people we talked about. Why are you defending Maggie?
Shanae Sassaman.
Couldn't even spell it. No.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was true. And even the old guy, Arthur, when he was talking about, like, oh, I don't want to accept that award, you know, because, like, who's going to go? And, like, it's embarrassing for me, you know, I'm older, and, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, even that, I was like, oh, that's so, like, honest.
Yeah.
And everyone's so vulnerable.
I know. He was so good, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she starts the relationship with him because he gets lost. He's, like, walking.
Which, like, I'm so glad they included a little scene. It was, like, 1 second where she sees him with, like, I guess a nurse. Mm-hmm. Because if we didn't have that, he's just an old man. I would have been like, Iris, you assuming, and you know what word is in assume? Or wait, what's the saying? Or,
it makes
yeah. Yeah. But he was lost, so good job, Iris.
But he was humble about it. He was like, oh man, I can't believe I got lost. Which, you know, I'm sure if Baby Boomer watched this and they have dealt with a parent that was old and, like, got confused, it maybe wouldn't be as sweet as that. Like, oh, now I'm back to normal. I just got lost. Hee hee hee. You know, it's probably, like, way more sad than that. But it just worked. It worked with why they would talk, why they had a relationship.
Right.
She not not being in the area, not just being enamored by Hollywood, and he's like, oh yeah, I knew this and that, and I don't know, it's just so awesome.
Yo, if I was in Iris's position and I found out he was like, oh, famous screenwriter, I'd be his friend too. I'd be like, you want dinner, breakfast, lunch, where are we going today? Because we're spending time together, sir. Now I'm your adopted friend. So
I love it.
Whether you like it or not.
I love it.
And I also like, I mean, again, he who must not be named. I almost feel like in that movie, if there had been something like this, I feel like they would have made the old man like gross and skeezy.
Yeah.
And been like hitting on her. And there's like none of that.
None.
At
None
all.
of it.
Like it's very platonic, but it's just friend. It's so sweet.
Well, and it's a good backstory because he had a wife who he loved and she passed away, and he's like not interested.
Right.
Now, Jack Black, I will tell you at times, I was like,
yeah, he didn't sell me at every moment of it, but when he was able to be like the silly and like being
playful,
funny, it worked.
Yeah, but he did he was obsessed with this woman, but when she was always away, he was kind of flirting with Kate. Who was he kidding?
Definitely. He kissed her on the cheek twice, and then he was like, oh, 2 kisses, so sorry.
And he lingered, and then he said he lingered.
You know what I like too, though, and you kind of said this about Kate Winslet's character Iris, but like I feel like they, in the beginning, yes, she had the crush on the guy, and she still, whatever, wasn't over him, but I felt like they also were kind of setting her up to be one of those people who, I don't want to say desperate, but like is always open and ready to meet someone.
Yeah.
So like when she's sitting on the plane and the random man walks up, she's like, hi, hello, have a seat on my lap here. And then like it didn't, whatever. So I was actually kind of glad that they kind of had it like that. And then I felt like throughout the movie, she wasn't like that anymore. Like she kind of was normal. And so even with Jack Black, she wasn't like, oh my God, it's a man breathing near me. I better get ready. Like, she was just normal to him, you know? And she didn't... I felt like he was coming on to her a little bit more than she was. And then I think closer to the end, she started to be like, I'm into it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how Cameron Diaz decided to go to England? That thought process?
Because they speak English. I know, I wrote a note. I was like, oh...
So, I got a question for you, because I'm not sure if this is a debate. When you search something in Google, do you use quotes?
Mm-mm.
You just type it in?
Yeah.
Was that a thing in the past that people used quotes?
I actually feel like there was something that had to do with quotes, and I can't for the life of you tell you what it was, because I feel like I learned that in high school, which was, let's just say, over 10 years ago, people. So I don't think it's very relevant anymore. Although I was in high school when this movie came out, so that makes sense.
Well, there you go.
But no, I do not do that now.
Because, like, I believe the beginning. She was like, best vacation something. Then the home exchange, and she was like, ooh, I don't have to do anything. Okay. I was like following her, aka them inventing Airbnb. And then she just goes, where do they speak English? And picks England. I was like, really?
And there's like a billion other, I mean, not a billion, but there are many other countries who, one, speak English, but two, you can still go visit a country even if you don't speak the language. Like, what does that mean? It's not like she was planning on going and like hanging out with a bunch of people. Her plan was literally to go and be alone. So,
yeah.
What?
Yeah. So, some very minor holes. Oh, and do you remember when Jack Black did a boob graze on Kate Winslet?
And he goes, boob graze.
Yeah.
Boob graze.
Do you want to...
Shh, stop talking about boob graze. I was like, just keep it to yourself. We don't gotta talk about it.
So,
Goodness.
apparently Jack Black did that to Nancy Myers, like by accident, and she laughed so hard she put it in the movie.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, like, he did that to Kate Winslet, and then that was just improvised scene.
No, he did that to Nancy Myers, and she was like, what did you say? He's like, I'm so sorry, I did a boob graze. She goes,
boob
what?
Graze.
What was that?
Boob graze. Did a boob grace. Sorry. I was like, you said it 4 times. We understand. Oh, no. Yeah.
This movie needed a better PR person because it's amazing. And it's background, but then when you pay attention, it's great. I would watch this every holiday season. I really would.
Yeah. What did you think of the kids? Jude Law's kids?
How cute are they?
They were cute. And, like, sometimes kids can be not cute. So, but they were cute.
Apparently, one of the kids I was reading, there's a story that, like, one of them was homeless.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought they were super cute, and I also kind of felt like, I mean, I can't remember when I first watched this movie how I reacted, but, like, they do that whole build-up where Cameron Diaz keeps, like, accidentally looking at his phone. I don't know why his phone isn't in his pocket. Like, it's always, like, out on the counter. So she keeps seeing, like, oh, Sophie's calling you, or, like, oh, Olivia's calling.
Yeah.
So in her mind, she's like, oh, these are other women, you know, blah, blah. And then when she surprises him at the house and she meets the kids, he's like, this is Sophie and Olivia. And she's like, Olivia. Oh, like, I kind of felt like I don't know. Like, I don't know if anyone was actually surprised, because I kind of felt like, I was like, I know you're trying to trick us, but, like, it's not working. Like, I know it's going to be, like, children or something, you know?
I love it. So the redhead one used to be homeless, and
oh, so sad.
they had this, like, crazy wild upbringing, and then they got this, like, movie role out of nowhere. All these people applied, and she, like, got it. Something insane. But the thing that made them cute is, like, the typical, oh, you're the new woman to date, and you're not my mom, and, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, they just were so, again, women, right? Even as kids, we're so, like, we're like, oh, come on in. Oh, you look beautiful. Come, oh, take a seat. Oh, come into
She's
my
like,
fort.
you look like one of my Barbies.
Oh my God, which, but I don't know. The whole movie just, it acknowledged that life is hard at any stage, and you still somehow had room left to believe it all could work out.
Yeah.
It's such a delicate balance.
Yeah. I think with the kids, though, like, they did the backstory right in making it so that the wife had passed away. Because I think if it was, like, just a divorce or something, then I think they wouldn't have been as, like, welcoming. But they were like, we never have adult women. It's fun, you know? Like, we miss that, you know? And you're like, oh, you don't have that. And then even when he talks about the whole, like, I'm a single dad, I'm learning to sew, you know, I get hot chocolate spilled in my crotch all the time. Which I was like, ooh, hate that. Don't do that. And just all that. And then when he's like, you know, and sometimes when their grandparents have them, then I just act like I'm a single dad with no kids. And he's like, I know that sounds terrible, but, you know, I just don't know how to be both. And I was like, oh, again, like, that's a very human.
Yeah.
Like, it's not selfish. It's not like he's like, my kids, so I'm, like, trying to get away. He was like,
no.
I love my kids, but that identity of mine is very personal, and I don't know how to meet women as someone like that, so I, you know, act like this. And even the whole thing where she was like, after they already, like, hung out the whole night, and then they're talking about all that, and Cameron Diaz is like, and I guess, you know, I'm leaving, so I guess you didn't want to tell them about me. And he was like, honestly, not really. Like, he, again, was kind of honest. And then you're like, oh, man, because it's so complicated, y'all. But then it works out, we guess. We don't really know after that. We just know up until New Year's, it was good.
It's New Year's, they're dancing, it's all good.
We end on a high note. Ending on a high note, yep.
People are moving, it's fine.
Yeah. I even felt like, I guess thinking of the point where I was like, oh, the movie was trying to trick you to think like Jude Law's a big man whore, you know, and he's making out with everyone. I felt like when they did the scene where Jack Black gets a call from Maggie again.
Yeah.
And she's like apologizing, whatever, and he's like, it's Maggie, you know, she wants to talk with me and like blah blah. And he's eating sushi with Kate Winslet and the boob graze. And even that, I felt like I was like, movie, I know you're trying to like swindle us, but we all know who he gonna end up with. We got 20 minutes left, okay? He's not gonna get back with Maggie and then magically end up with Kate. No.
But you could have seen them like ending as friends too, because like she did just like really enjoy his company.
Yeah.
I think her victory victory was that she wasn't in love with Jasper anymore.
Yes. And her reaction to that was so fun.
It was so awesome.
It was just like a celebration. I was like, yes, honey.
Well, and how many rom-coms don't talk about that exact moment?
Yeah.
Everyone has had, if you're a certain age, has been in love with someone, and then once that's over, that is some victory.
And you feel like free. You're like,
feel free.
I am in control again.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have control. Now I have control. I ended it. Yeah.
So I feel like even if her and Jack Black didn't work out, I still was like loving it because they made Arthur happy, and they could have just all danced with Arthur.
Arthur kind of like disappeared though after that. It was like, all right, here's your ceremony. And then it was like, anyway, we're all going to leave you alone for New Year's.
What did Arthur do for New Year's? Ouch.
Maybe he had Manischewitz with his friends. Don't know.
I love it.
It's just...
It's
good.
good.
It is, sure. Is it unrealistic? Totes. Do I care? Notes.
No.
No.
Notes you don't.
Nopes.
I'll say, I don't know if you've been feeling this, but with the whole 2020 being just god-awful, COVID, all things, whatever, I am ready for some hope, and this movie delivers hope. Because you're just, like, over it. I don't know. So I think I also was really in the mood for this movie. Like, anything annoying about it, or, like, things that would have irked me, or maybe I would have been more hypercritical, I was just waiting for the happy ending. I don't know why. So I think that's another thing. This movie, I think, also works when you're in the mood to have a good movie. Where, like, Love Actually doesn't always do that to you.
Love Actually makes me,
annoyed.
He who must not be named. Makes me scowl. Roll my eyeballs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I think this is underrated. Truly.
Definitely.
Truly.
And, I also feel like, even though, yes, it was around Christmas time and the holidays, there's not Christmas everywhere. So I wonder if that might be part of it, where people are like, well, I don't like a Christmas. Nah.
Now, I'll say, because remember how the movie, with Julia Roberts, it's about the divorced woman, she goes to Bali. Eat, Pray, Love.
No, Eat, Pray, Love.
Eat, Pray, Love. So you know how a bunch of women were like, I want to do that too, and then they like go do Eat, Pray, Love stuff after divorces, whatever. I will tell you, if you have like a breakup before the holidays and home exchange and end up in the middle of nowhere, it's probably not likely you'll be next to a famous film editor, or you'll just like have the brother who happens to be single show up at your house drunk. So there's probably like an unrealistic part of this, but I don't know why I was like, I wanted it. I don't know what that's about. So we probably shouldn't sell it too hard, because there are some very unrealistic rom-com stuff about it.
Yeah, but I don't watch a rom-com and expect it to happen to me. I mean, not me personally. I don't know. Maybe people actually do that in their lives. Guys, don't do that. Have you ever watched a Hallmark, no.
No, but I'm saying, like, we don't want to, like, say it's so amazing because it's so real and this and that. Like, there are some parts of it that are, like, absolutely a movie.
I think the chain of events is somewhat realistic, but I think the actual characters could represent real people.
Yes.
And then real interactions and how people would get to know each other or think of one another,
Yeah.
But yeah, home exchange away. Listeners, if you end up going on a home exchange for the holidays, let us know. And we'll mention it. We'll do something for you, because we love to hear from you all.
We'll either send Jack Black or Jude Law.
Drunk Jude Law coming your way. Ooh. Or if you want drunk Jack Black coming your way. Ooh. What else? Ooh. Send you a plate of fettuccine.
Oh. Didn't that make you want fettuccine?
It really did.
I was ready for it.
I was like, Christmas fettuccine, it's the best idea ever. Oh my god. Yeah, it's good. If you haven't seen this movie, you should watch it, because it'll put a smile on your face.
It would. Do it.
I think it would.
So I would watch it again. You would too?
Yes, definitely.
Love it. Well, is there any possible way that Dad would know this movie at all?
I'm gonna say a hard no. on that one. I don't know who I could even get a quote from for this movie. This might be a quoteless movie.
Can you get one from Nancy Myers? Because I like her.
How the heck would I get Nancy Myers?
Remember when we emailed
Roger Ebert's wife? She ghosted me. Never answered. Yep.
I still believe she's going to get back to you.
One day I'll hear from her. Probably not. But
all right, well, we'll skip over that. Listen, just watch the movie and have fun already, okay?
Yeah, and this movie, we picked this movie at a good time because this is coming out on December 30th. So you are at the prime time today. If you're listening to this, the day it comes out, this is the best time to watch it because it's right after the holidays, but it's also before New Year's. So you're like right there with characters having a great time. Like you're ready for the dancing scene at the end. It's gonna be great.
And you could like swap it with your friends in England.
Totes my goats. That's my English accent.
It's like, what is that?
I was like, I knew I had to explain that. So, okay. Yep.
Okay. Well, I was thinking a lot about the next movie to pick for you.
Okay.
And I think what everybody did wrong in the beginning of 2020, what set it off to be awful, is we all just, in our privileged little world, just thought it'd be great. We thought it'd be like every other year. And so we said New Year's resolutions, and we said, oh, this wonderful thing, I'm going to travel here and there. Well, no, I'm not falling for it again, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to start off 2021 prepared for calamity. Okay?
All right.
So I want you to get ready for this high fantasy film.
Oh.
From 1982. It also is puppet animated. We're watching the one, the only, Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal.
I love this movie. Mom just heard me scream and she goes, she loves it.
Oh, your face. You're so funny. Oh my God.
I have so much. This is going to be a long episode. I have so much to say about it.
I'm sure I watched it by no means on the same level as you, so I feel like I'm going to watch it and be like, wow, I didn't remember any of this, or...
I guarantee you there's going to be a lot. You're going to be like, what is happening? Because it's cray. It's cray, but it's good. It's dark. This is like Willow dark. This is darker than Willow, in my opinion.
Well,
there's no Val Kilmer and snowballs, I'll tell you that.
Well, I just feel like 2021 isn't going to fool us. So we're going to start off ready. Okay, the holiday. Okay, we just needed a little bump, but guess what? I'm going to Amanda Woods this, and I'm ready for the darkness, and I'm prepared, and my energy is up.
It is definitely a dark kids movie, but I don't think it's a bad kids movie. I think kids should watch it because
she's finger pointing, ladies and gentlemen.
Up and over and down and out. Yep. I have a lot to say about this movie. I might get a quote from Mel.
Perfect.
We used to watch this movie.
Get all the quotes.
I'm excited. I am so interested to hear your thoughts because I am super biased and you definitely won't be.
No, I won't. No, I won't.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty jazzed.
There's going to be a lot of fun facts about this movie too because it's Jim Henson and he's so fun.
He's so fun.
He's so fun.
Well, Kate, I just want to tell you that if you ever want a home exchange with me, I'm going to stay in my home and you could just exchange here. Is that English?
Yes.
We speak English in Chicago.
Oh, well then I'll have to do it there then, because there's just no other place I can go. So, I love that. If you were at a Blockbuster and Dustin Hoffman was next to us, I would get his autograph for you.
Oh, thank you so much. Wow.
All right. And listeners, if you love home exchange, only in English-speaking countries, apparently, and if you love Dustin Hoffman, and if you love us, you should leave us a review. We love reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts and probably some other places. So, do that. Leave us a review. Tell us how much you love us.
God, we can't hear it enough. I mean, Katie can't.
I want to hear it. Tell me.
Why won't you guys talk to us?
Maybe we should check our spam.
Oh. No, we're super popular. There's so many messages. So
Definitely.
we should go. We're a hit, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, well, listeners, we will see y'all next week for The Dark Crystal. And it's dark, so bring your flashlights.
Wow.
Because we're going in.
Wow. And bring your crystals. I don't know if to feel safe.
Well, kind
Is
of.
that the plot? I don't remember.
Little. You're right. There is a crystal.
There's a crystal. I mean, it's in the
but
name.
it's a dark crystal bridge. So.
Wait, I didn't tell you that around me there's a witch's store.
What? What do you mean? What does that mean? Like a voodoo store? What? You can't just say that at the end. What is wrong with you?
I can't breathe. But it is literally a witch's store that like sells potions and stuff, and it's real. It's like,
Have you bought one?
oh my god, Kate, there's so many things to buy. I bought like sage and stuff. Because
want
we're
that.
convinced that we have the evil spirits of the old owner because all our shit keeps breaking and we wanted to get rid of him. And then I learned that that's like appropriation of Native Americans and felt guilty. But I started following the witch's store and they literally have like potions. So when you come visit, like I'm taking you to the witch's store.
I'm gonna buy stuff.
Oh my god, it's so cool.
Okay.
So sorry I threw that in. You don't have to keep it in the episode. Maybe I'll buy a crystal for the dark crystal.
Ooh. You should go in there and be like, excuse me, ma'am, Mrs. Witch, have you ever seen the dark crystal? Give me your thoughts. And she'll say, get out.
And she'll like hand me this like thing from the back and it'll be like shining and I'll be like, oh.
That's the crystal shard.
So sorry. Oh, that was a good one. I needed that.
So many things happening right now.
Well.
Oh.
Okay. See ya.
Okay. Okay. On that note, we will see y'all next week.
Bye, listeners. We love you.
We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswho'veseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.